how are you? You have a good break?
Oh, we did, yeah. I think it was well deserved after last season. Obviously, the league campaign didn't go as we would have liked, but to finish the year, obviously with 2 trophies, always a bonus.
It is indeed. How do you relax in a close season?
I don't think you really can. I think you enjoy your break now for a week or two, and after your couple of weeks, then you start getting your 2 feet and just want to get back playing again. And I think the boys have enjoyed being back now the last couple of weeks.
Pre-season, is it going well?
I think it is. I think the results we had, especially against Motherwell, it'll set us well for the rest of the season. Obviously, the European game now coming up in a couple of days. That's something to look forward to.
That's good. No, just what do you get out of pre-season, you personally?
I think it's needed. I think last season we mightn't have had the best pre-season, obviously with the European run and the teams we played against. This season, obviously we've come in a wee bit earlier, we start later in Europe, and it's given us those extra 2-3 weeks, obviously, to get the legs opened up and do a wee bit of running. I think that's needed.
And do you feel a difference from last season to this season, close season?
Okay, yeah, I think you do. Always is. Pre-season is always tough. I think with the players now, we'll have the club now as well. There's quality throughout, so you have to be at top of your game. And I know seasons past, maybe boys went away in the summer and they maybe didn't look after themselves as well as they should have, and that's not the case now. The boys maybe, as I said, 1-2 weeks off and they do their own training. Looking forward to getting back.
Have you reaped the benefits of the 3-quarter professional outlook?
Yeah, I think it's been a success. Obviously, anybody around the club have always realised it was going to take a year or two to bed in. The boys to get used to it. Obviously, working straight after training too. And I think we had that wee bump to start the season. Obviously, results didn't go our way. Some of the boys looked leggy and tired. But I think a year on, now you're seeing those benefits.
And do you think it's going to work? Will you see that in the first couple of weeks of the season, or that it'll change from last year?
Yeah, I think it's just been constant now. Obviously, the full-time schedule. As I said, fitness levels are up. It gives the boys more time, obviously, to work on the basics of football, their touch, their passing. You're playing it every day. So, obviously, the boys are going to get better. And I think you've seen that if you watch a couple of training sessions out there. The sharpness of some of them is brilliant.
Just moving on now to yourself. Why has a relationship between you and the club been so strong over all these years?
I haven't a clue. Obviously, I joined the club, maybe made my debut. I joined the club when I was 15. Worked my way through the youth teams and the reserve level under Jeff Spears, and obviously Jeff introduced me to the first team under Stephen. Made my debut when I was 19, and I was just determined to get in that first team. Me and Big Jordan Owens came through the same age groups the whole way up, and he kind of probably put me to the post getting into the first team, and he was doing well, and if anything that drove me on.
So what you're saying is that Jeff Spears, you owe everything to Jeff for getting you to where you are?
Yeah, like I want to have to say it. He'll be watching, so I have to say that, don't I? But no, I think Jeff, obviously I'd like to say I'm his type of player. I'm a hard worker, determined, and I think Jeff appreciates that.
Did you set out to be a midfielder?
I played centre half till I was 16. Obviously, the first couple of seasons of Crusaders Youth, I was always a centre half. And I moved into late teens and they pushed me up in the midfield. And since then, I haven't looked back. You
said there that you've come through the ranks with Jordan. Obviously, the two have bounced off each other over the years. But there's been other players as well who have stayed here for many years. Davy McGowan, Colin Coates, Chris Morrow is another one.
Yep.
What's it about Crusaders that makes you want to come back year after year?
I think it's a club itself. Judging by, I think you don't appreciate it as much as you should whenever you're played here and you've been here as long as I have. Judging by players' reactions that we're saying from other clubs, your Linfields, your Glentorrans, and the first compliment to say is they wish they would have joined the Cruise sooner. It just has that family unit about the place. The players, the staff, the fans, they all muck in and do it together, and that's something obviously to be proud of.
Do you ever see yourself being anywhere else but in red and black?
No, I don't think so. I've been asked that before, and obviously I'm 31 now. I've played here now majority of my life, since I was 15 I joined, and I don't see me going anywhere else. I think when the time comes for me to stop playing, or I'm maybe not getting my starting spot on a Saturday, or the first time Stevie says I'm going to have to ship you in, it'll be straight into coaching for me.
And it'll be at Crusaders?
Hope so, yeah. Obviously I look after some new teams at the minute, and I continue. Obviously the Cruise put me through my B licence recently, and it's just something, it's the next step obviously when I finish playing.
Good enough. You've seen some changes around here. in the ground, the squad, the professionalism that's been built over the last couple of years. What's it like from the inside, looking out?
It's as I said, it's something that you should cherish, something you should be proud of being a part of. I was with the club the last 10 years, and I remember the nights that we used to do our pre-season, Grove playing pitches and up at Lochside. And I think around them times the club didn't even have money for the floodlights, so you were actually training on the pitch at dark, or you were running up a track beside Lochside with no floodlights, and you were making the most of obviously grounds that were available, because obviously the financial difficulties the club were in. So obviously to travel through it and be with it now for the 10 years, and when you look around with the pitch, the stands, the new building over there, it's brilliant. It's great to be a part of.
So really what you came into back then has given you a solid grounding to what you've got to today.
Yeah, I think it makes you appreciate every day. Obviously with the full-time thing as well, it's every boy's dream obviously to play full-time football, and Crusaders have given players over here that chance. It's something that a lot of clubs haven't that kind of drive to get to, and Crusaders obviously with the board and the forward thinking ideas along with Stevie, they've put this in place, and it's ideal. It gives you the opportunity to play football every day with boys you've played with the last couple of years.
Do you wish that had happened 10 years ago, or are you happy that what you saw, that what you're getting now?
Oh no, I think it would happen. Wish it happened 10 years ago. But no, it's obviously a stepping stone for the club. One that I think's a stepping stone or a step in the right direction. It's ideal for players that obviously have been here to improve themselves, and I think it's ideal for young lads like the two Hales that are with us, that have probably spent the last 2 years in England playing full time, and it gives them a platform to continue and hopefully improve and get themselves back over.
On a personal note, I have the stats here: 407 games, 45 goals. Do you remember every goal?
I don't know. Probably remember a handful if I can. It's always nice to score a goal, but they all count. I think obviously you score your top ends at the back post, or you score a spectacular goal now and again for myself. But they're all important. And you couldn't remember them all. I can't remember the 47. You wonder how Jordan Owens, if he can remember his over 200 or whatever.
Okay, well, your best goal?
I'd be split between the one on Boxing Day against Cliftonville and probably the one in the Irish Cup final in 2011, which obviously we were beat 2-1 by Linfield. But I think two of those stick in my memory.
The games itself over the years, what's your memories of playing for Crusaders? You know, your first game obviously was probably massive for you. Then you became a regular, then you started scoring goals, and the next thing, trophies and medals started coming.
Yeah, I think obviously at the start I was in the first team maybe for 3 years before obviously cementing the place, and it was hard. It was hard being a young lad coming through, and obviously Stevie knew where he needed the club to be, and he brought in players like Sir Darren Lockhart, Eamon Doherty's, Michael Collins, all established Irish League players, and he knew he had to do that obviously to push the team up the table, and at that time it was probably a wee bit frustrating. But I can say I'm proud that I stuck with it. And I worked hard to make sure I was in the first team. And obviously, judging by 10 years ago, or probably 12 years ago when we come up, 10 years ago when we were scrapping for relegation, probably with DC. And now when you look back, you've won so many honours. Obviously, it's a privilege.
You have the full set. Do you still have them all yourself?
I kept one of each of the medals I win, and if I ever win it again, I always give it to someone who'll obviously look after it and cherish it. Obviously there's a lot of great fans around here, and I've given some to them, and I just hope they appreciate them as much as I do.
You're talking about the supporters there. What do they mean to you, and how they helped you maybe in the tough times?
That's the difference between Crusader supporters and other supporters, and they have their digs about our numbers and stuff, but as loyal supporters, they're hard to beat. They're there week in, week out, through the dark times, through the good times. They always show it, and they always give you your support no matter what the result.
European travel, European trips, how much do you enjoy playing against full professional opposition, Copenhagen's, your Rosenborgs, etc., etc.? What do you learn from European football?
What do you learn? You learn how to run and chase a ball. That's probably about it. No, it's great to play in those competitions. As I say, when you're a young lad and you're growing up, and even now, at 31, you want to challenge yourself and see where you stand against some of the best players in the world. And some of the teams we've had out there, your Fulhams, your Rosenborgs, your Copenhagens, littered with top class footballers, and it's just a delight, obviously, to share a pitch with them and play against them and see where you stand.
Who's the best European footballer you played against?
I'd say it's between Delaney and Borek Dokal. The times we've played them out there, Delaney was a class act, obviously international, and he's went on to great things. Dokal, who made an absolute mug out of me out there, until I was sent off after 45 minutes.
Again, just staying on the theme of Europe, one more question. The best ground you've played in on our European travels?
Probably the Tele 2 in Sweden. That was something else. Great stadium, top class facilities, hybrid pitch. Probably the biggest pitch I've probably played on. But as I said, it's a joy to be out in those, obviously, adventures, European adventures, and enjoying being in places like that, places you'll never see in your life or career, and you get to travel throughout Europe and obviously enjoy your time there.
Bringing it back to the local game, you've had many games against your Linfields, Cliftonvilles, Glentorans. Do you still enjoy the getting in the middle of it and breaking up the play or winding somebody up to try and make them make a mistake? Do you still love playing in those big battles?
I think you do. It's maybe not that it's harder, but obviously where we were maybe 5-10 years ago, and you were at the bottom of the table, I think those matches when you played against the big teams, you were probably of an unknown quantity. You were a young lad coming through and you enjoyed rolling the sleeves up and doing your bit, trying to upset the opposition. Now, a wee bit older, you become a wee bit more experienced. Of course, you still enjoy it, but you do have that level head on you, and you go in, you know your responsibilities, and you go in to get your job done.
Who was your toughest opponent in the local scene?
I always enjoyed playing against Michael Galt. Reasons before, when we were coming up, Linfield were always the dominant team. They won their 6 doubles in 7 seasons, or some were 6 and 6, whatever it was. And that was always where Crusaders had aimed to be, and that's where we wanted to be. And I think obviously year after year we could see we were drawing them in, and until we started competing with them. And finally obviously we overtook them when we won the last couple of seasons. And I think that means a lot. When you look back and see where the clubs came from, that's a level that we all have to get on, and with Stevie and Jeff and the players we brought in, thankfully we've managed to do that.
Who's the most difficult opponent you've played with in the local scene?
Difficult? A player like myself, I think I always appreciate boys of a similar type of player than myself. I think you do appreciate that more. You know what you're going to get out of the game. It's always probably who can kick who the most before the final whistle. So when you look back and you have your Michael Galt's, your Ryan Catneys, your Barry Johnsons, Shane McCabe was another one. Had a good company each hour for 90 minutes and shook hands after. So I think I appreciate players like that a lot more.
What's it like on Derby Day?
There's a buzz about the place. Obviously being from West Belfast, a lot of my family and friends are all Cliftonville men. And I think that means probably more to me than probably some of the fans and other players here. Obviously being from that side of town, having to grow up with all that and having to grow up with the abuse and the slaggings for the past 10 years. So it's always a massive day for me, massive day to make sure we get the result and get over the line. Again,
Derby games, we'll stick with that for a second. What's been the best Crusaders Cliftonville or Cliftonville Crusaders game you've played in? It's a hard one. There's been so many. They're usually blood and thunder. Every encounter we play against each other. Very, very rarely you will get that landslide. Thankfully, the last couple of years we've managed to get on top of them, because the years of Cliftonville won the league, I don't think we beat them in 2 or 3 years. So it was nice obviously to get up there and obviously turn the table and get those results. But I think it's hard to obviously put your finger on one and say that was the hardest. They're all hard, you know what you're going to get. The fans are out in numbers, the players are buzzing obviously. They get over that line and do their job. Chris Morrow, Colin Coates, Davy McGowan, Jordan Owens, you know, they're all great lads. They're all done many years service here. Mm-hmm. Only you and Jordan are really left. Colin came a couple of years, I think, after it. So do you tell the young lads coming through, the lads who have come here, Rory Hale, Ronan Hale, Chris Haggerty, Charlie O'Rourke, two young other lads, Tom Matheson and young Ross Murphy has been here for a couple of weeks now. Are you taking them to the side, or do you put your arm around them, or do you tell them things about what happened at the club?
I think, yeah, young lads coming through, the older boys, more experienced boys are always there. Obviously through training sessions, I'm never one to go and probably take one to the side and tell them how to play football. That's me, because I probably can't. I'm not the best person to go and do that for them, obviously. But through training games, site matches, yes, of course, you give them tips, you give them hints, you try to give them whatever advice you've gained over the last 10 years. And they all know, anybody around the club always know that I'm there for advice and talking to them. Some boys have in the past came and asked their advice or asked what they need to do to play in the first team, and I'm always there to give them whatever advice they need.
You're great friends with Sean O'Neill.
Unfortunately.
Why?
I don't know. I'm still asking myself that question. I know me and Sean knew each other even before I joined the Cruise. Obviously from both from West Belfast, went to the same secondary school. So we've known each other since we were kids. I always enjoyed playing against him when he was at Ballymena and Dungannon before we signed him. So I was delighted, obviously, that we signed him. And he's went on to have a great career with us. Obviously a character, and everybody knows him for his banter and his laughs, and probably the messer and the joker of the group. But what he gives in the changing room, it's very, very hard to find.
You played with some cracking professionals. Sean, again, Paul Lehman, Gary Smith, all these guys. You've got a boss in Stephen Baxter, Jeff Spears, number 2. What do these boys give you? What advice have they given you over the years, or what have you taken from them and what to do? I
think obviously all of them amalgamated. They all give your own wee bits, obviously, whether it's during a match, during training, maybe before a match. They always try to coach you, try to give you advice. The best advice I ever got with Stevie was win the ball and give it to someone who can do something with it. Do what you're good at and don't do what you're not good at. And I took that on board, to be fair. I did take it on board, and I know my limits as a player. I'm not your Paul Heatley's or Gavin White's that'll terrorise defences and win games by themselves. My job is to upset, to win the ball back and give it to those players, obviously, to get the result.
What's it like to be in midfield with Paul Heatley coming up one side of the pitch? It must be an absolute dream just to leave the ball out to him.
Oh, of course it is. If you're ever under pressure, and that's probably helped me throughout the years. You either kick it to Big Jordan for a flick on, or you hook the ball into the corner for Paul Heatley to run on to. 9 times out of 10, chicken will head it, or Paul will get it and beat them on the foot race. So to have boys like that, and we talk about your Gavin Whites too, they make your job easy. You go and you get the ball and you give it to them and let them do their work. And obviously it's been a joy to play with them and share a pitch with them over the past 10 years.
You mentioned another one, Gavin White. How pleased are you that guy has got to where he's got to so far?
I'm absolutely delighted. Obviously me and Gavin are good friends, we work together. Spent probably almost every day together the past couple of years before he got his move, and he deserves it more than anyone. Anybody knows him, he's such a level-headed kid, down to earth, and he always wanted to do well. And you can see from his his debut game here that he had something special. I think Stevie compared him to Stuart Dallas after the first game, and you can see why. He's been on to great things. He's obviously moved to full-time football with Oxford. He's playing well every week, and now he's got his recognition with Northern Ireland as well.
Do you think he's going on to bigger and better things over the next couple of years?
I think he will, 100%. I always talk about Stuart going over, and maybe it took him 2 or 3 years to find his feet. Stuart, he's a grafter. He worked hard every day. He maybe went to 1 or 2 clubs and loan, and now he's reaping the benefits. He's playing for Leeds in the Championship, starring for Northern Ireland every game. I think what gives the biggest compliment to Gavin is that he was able to get in his first year. He went over and he hit the ground running, and he was able, obviously, just to enjoy it and just to go out and play, and that was Gavin. Whether you were training or whether it was a match, he went out and played like it was a game with his friends, and that's obviously why he's done so well.
Is there a wee bit of envy that he's got to where he's got to?
Me? No, I always wanted the best for Gavin, always. Obviously at my age now as well, Gavin's only young 20s, I'm 30, I know I'm here for the rest of my career. So, but as long as I could help him, I helped him in any way and pushed him on and gave him advice when he needed advice, especially around that time where he was probably getting his move. And I just want the best for him. Obviously he's destined for big things, and he has all the talent there to get there.
going to ask you now, put you on the spot. Your best five-a-side team you played with at Crusaders. You're a sub.
I'm a sub, right? Okay. I'll do nets instead of Sean O'Neill, will I? No. You would have to put Sean O'Neill in. Leader, good shot stopper, especially for five-a-side nets. He wouldn't have to come out for crosses, obviously, which he struggles at now and again. So we'll fire him in for goalkeeper. I'll play Colin Coates, centre half by himself. Neil Marshall, he's a winner, he's a leader. I'd keep him in there. On the left, Paul Heatley. On the right, Gavin White. Just because it's Paul Heatley and Gavin White. Great feet, five-a-side pitch, and get past players and hurt them. And up top, I think I'm going to say Jordan Owens, but I'm not because he is brutal at finishing. Davy Rainey, fox in the box, unbelievable striker, still doing wonderful things and still playing last year at 40 odd years of age, and he's running about like a 20-year-old. But as a finisher, he's the best I've seen.
Best goal you've seen scored by a Crusaders player, or the most important goal, even if you want?
Most important goal, and best goal possibly, is Mark Dixon in the Boxing Day Derby in 2009. Great finish. Obviously, he went 1-0 to win the Irish Cup against our rivals Cliftonville, and I think I still watch that goal back actually, and how to actually get in is remarkable. I think it goes through someone's legs, skims someone's back, comes off the side of someone's head, and then the roof in it. And then to either side it wasn't in. So I think that stands out as probably one of the best goals.
Which medal, even though you do give some away, which medal do you keep and think, that's mine, I'm never giving it away?
That's definitely my first league medal. Obviously I've won every honour in the country, and I'd won them all and was maybe waiting 3 or 4 years for that league medal, probably four or 5 years for that league medal. And I think at a club like the Crusaders, it's to be cherished, and as time goes on you start to think, I'm never going to get one. We were always finishing second or third and maybe back to second, and we weren't actually able to get over that line. And that year we did get over the line up at Solitude that day. It was remarkable. But so that medal definitely.
You enjoy the celebrations after it?
I did, for 4, 5, 6 days I think. I think everybody did. It was a special moment. Still great 4 or 5 days celebrating. I remember me and Sean O'Neill coming in Thursday night and training. I think we'd been on it from Saturday, and we were both still drunk. And Stevie pulled us aside. He was actually shocked we were still drunk. I don't think he thought we were still out. And he pulled us aside and he went, you can go into a bar, you can buy one more drink, and after that you're both going home. You're playing on Saturday. So it was a great few days.
It was indeed. St Hanta Cup Day, was that another memorable?
It was. The Tanta Cup was slightly different. Obviously a cup competition, but I think with Tanta Cup no one gives a chance. When you look at the ties, we beat Bohemians down there. We played Sligo. I think they underestimated us at home. We managed to get the result down there. I don't know how we done it. We could have played that game 100 times and lost 99. The boys dug in, we got the result, and I think even when it came to Derry City at the Oval, people were still staying. It's only Crusaders, Derry City will hammer them. And on that day, the boys were outstanding, man to man. Obviously went to penalties. I thought we'd done enough to win the game over the 90 minutes. But to win that and prove that the doubters wrong, it was a special day.
And then again, also our run in the Iron Brew Cup, were you sort of hoping we'd get to the final there? Did you think, even at 3-0 down, suddenly it was goal after goal, we nearly made it? What do you think? What do you think of that?
I think it's a good competition. I think, as I said, even when you judge by European competitions, it's nice to go and play against teams, obviously from a higher standard, or teams from different countries, and see what they're all about. And it only benefits you as a player, playing against teams like that, with different styles of play and different players. And it's something we all enjoyed. It was special. Obviously, we almost got there, but it was a journey. I'm sure the players enjoyed, the fans enjoyed, with the away trips over there. Obviously the result in Dundee was something special too. But yeah, it's just a privilege to be part of it all.
Right, well, going out to your testimonial on Saturday.
Yep.
Are you looking forward to it?
I am looking forward to it. Obviously it's nice to be recognised at a club like Crusaders, and be honoured with a testimonial. Talking to fans, players, etc., they all still talk about Kirk Hunter's testimonial here. Obviously, I was probably a bit young to remember that. But I wanted to bring something back to CV, bring something back to the fans. Obviously, majority of Crusaders fans are Rangers fans. And once I had that opportunity, obviously, to get the club here, obviously I worked hard and made everything possible to get them to travel over.
How did it come about?
It's actually through work. We actually do work for Rangers academies over here. And the boy looks after Phil Cowan, obviously I was in contact with, and I asked him the question. And to be fair, Phil was brilliant from day one. He worked tirelessly to get it over the line, to make everything happen, and to liaise with the club and Rangers on our side just to make it all possible.
And is everything ready? Are you sorted?
I wouldn't say everything's ready. You're still, I'm sure I'll still have a couple of sleepless nights before it. Just loose ends to tie up, but obviously tickets are going well. The weather's meant to be brilliant. So it all obviously adds to a great day out. Obviously I want to make it a celebration for myself, my family, for the fans and for other families. You obviously want to come and watch Crusaders and watch Rangers at their doorstep.
You also have Mark Haitley, a Rangers legend, coming across to speak at your pre-match lunch. Tickets are still on sale for that. You know, Mark is going to tell some cracking stories, I'm sure. You know, we've got a super facility across the road, great lunch facility as well. We've all had something in it, and it's absolutely beautiful. You know, what do you think Mark is going to tell the assembled people?
I think he'll probably tell them things I haven't heard before, and maybe he doesn't want to tell them. No, Mark's obviously a Rangers legend. Obviously talking to Phil, being in contact with Mark myself, and he dig that wee bit deeper into his career and what he's done. With his caps for England, his career with Rangers, obviously scoring the Milan derby. What a player, and I think me looking at the footage of him, the goals he scored, it's remarkable. And I'm privileged that he's obviously coming out of his day-to-day work and coming over to help me out in my big day.
Your testimonial year is what, we're now halfway through it. How's it gone so far?
It's went well. Obviously we had our lunch, which was a big success, a poker night, which was good crack, even though there was a couple of card sharks out there like Paul Lehman, who says he hasn't played cards in his life and yet he goes home with the winnings. That was a great night. Obviously the golf day was rained off, so that has to be rescheduled for the next month or so. We're just working a date for that, but I think everybody's now concentrating on the game and looking forward to the game.
After the game's over, then you've got obviously you've said your golf day. You also have your testimonial dinner, and that'll be coming up. The announcement about that fairly soon. Is there anything else planned?
We have a night with Carl Frampton as well, hopefully, in the lounge across the way. Obviously, Carl's a cruise man. I've been in contact with him and chatting away, and he's doing everything he can to make it possible. So we have that to look forward to, and what a person to have at CV and Crusaders to talk about their career and their sporting achievements and what he's done for this country.
Thanks very much for sitting down and having a chat with us, Declan. Thank you.
Hi, Declan Caddell here. I'd just like to thank everyone who's making the effort to come to my testimonial game against Rangers Football Club. Full bar facilities available, and it's also now pay to get. So we've cased our turnstiles for all those who haven't got their ticket yet. I look forward to seeing you all at the game. I hope it's a great day. Thanks.